Well, my name is Myra Barroso, and my group contains Stephanie Ulloa, Ben Garcia, and Kayla Clovinto. And in this project, we will be learning how to make heat-sensitive slime. One of the main ingredients in heat-sensitive slime is thermochromic pigment. That thermochromic pigment is also found in mood rings, so I'm pretty sure you guys are all familiar with it. In this project, we will be learning how to take measurements correctly. We will also be learning about heat sensitivity, and we will also be learning about wavelengths. And now I'm going to pass it over to Ben, who's going to be discussing the science behind making slime.
Thank you so much for that awesome introduction, Myra. Hi, I'm Ben Garcia, and we're going to go over about some of the scientific aspects of this project. Now, we're going to use a lot of big, scary words here, but I promise that once we go through them, it won't be nearly as scary, it'll be a lot more fun. So the first scientific aspect of the project will be going over why the slime changes color. And that's because we're going to add thermochromic pigments to the slime. Now these pigments, when heat affects them, they change shape. And that's what causes the color change at a microscopic level. A good example of this would be how a thermometer changes color with heat. It goes up or down. Okay, so the second scientific aspect of this project will be going over wavelength and how we see the color change. So the thermochromic pigments cause wavelengths of light to change, causing the human eye to see a different color. The colors that we see depend on the different wavelengths of light reflected by the specific object. This is how heat changes the color of the slime by affecting the wavelength that our eyes see. Okay, now that we've gone over the science of the project, let's go over the basic materials that we need. First, we're going to need standard school glue. Okay, this is going to be the biggest portion. It's going to be what makes the slime. We're going to need some liquid starch for this project as well. We're also going to need food coloring. This is going to be what changes the color of the slime to whatever you want, purple, blue, green, whatever you like. Need some basic water. And then finally, the most specific item we need are the thermochromic pigments. You can get these on Amazon. You can see they kind of change color with heat as I touch them. It goes from white to blue. These are the main items that we will need. And Miss Stephanie will show you the measurements and how to measure it out and put it in specifically. So before I turn over to Miss Stephanie, I want to go over a few things about this project. While you're doing it, keep in mind the science that we explained. Also remember, it's very squishy, but it does have a molecular structure that is changed by the heat. So keep that in mind while you're doing this. And remember that the wavelength of light reflected by the object is taken by our eyes, which is how we see light. Keep these things in mind, take notes, and ask questions while you do it, and have a great time.
Thanks, Ben. So the next thing that we're going to be doing is making the slime. So the first step in making the slime is picking the color of your thermochromatic pigment. And we picked blue. And the next step is picking the food coloring pigment, which is going to be red. So the blue pigment with red food coloring, the slime will be purple, but it'll turn pink when it's hot. Okay, so our next step is adding a cup of glue into a large bowl. Getting it all in there. And then what we are going to do is add some water, 1 tablespoon of water. So find your measuring tool, 1 tablespoon of water, and then we have to stir until it's fully combined and mixed together. I will switch to the whisk, which should mix everything together a little better. You really want to make sure we're following the instructions just to make sure that it works. And that looks like a nice consistency. Okay, we're going to put that off to the side since we don't need that anymore for now. And then we're going to add 5 drops of food coloring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, And then we're gonna mix that again. Ooh, that's really red. Okay. Oh, it kind of looks like it's pink now. Like a pretty hot pink color. And mixing, mixing, mixing. Okay. So it looks good so far. And then we are going to add 3 teaspoons of thermochromic pigment. And we're going to mix it until it's uniformly distributed. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so we're gonna mix it again. And make sure it's perfect. Woo! And you might want to stay a little farther back so you don't breathe in the pigment. I'm not sure if that would be healthy to breathe in. Probably not. It looks like it's starting to mix together nicely. It's looking like still like a darkish blue, but almost changing into like a dark purple, I guess. It still looks pretty blue. Next, we are going to mix 2 tablespoons of starch, liquid starch, which is 1/8 of a cup. 1 and 2. Okay. Oh, ooh. This is starting to be a slimy consistency. Ooh. Oh, maybe I shouldn't mix it with this. Mix it with my hands instead. Yep. That's a good thing to do. Start mixing with your hands, because it'll get stuck in a whisk if you use a whisk. Ooh, look at that. It's a really nice slimy consistency. Ooh. Wow, this is really awesome. It's important to make sure that it's completely mixed together. So you're gonna knead it and stretch it. Basically, you're playing with it for a while, just to make sure that all the ingredients are really nicely mixed together. And just try to grab all the stuff that's on the sides of the bowl by like pressing it against the bowl and then like lifting it up and kneading it and stretching it out and putting it back together in a ball. And this is so much fun. Okay, so it looks like it is ready to go. This is really nice. All right, so and we are going to move on to the next step, which is going to be experimentation, which is my favorite part of making slime. We're going to experiment with this and see what happens when we put it on something hot, and then what happens when we put it on something cold. I wonder, can you guys hypothesize what color it's going to be when it is placed on something hot? Or can you hypothesize what color it's going to be when you place it on something cold? Alright, so stay tuned for the next step. Let's see what happens. As you can see, hopefully see the steam coming off of it. So hopefully this is hot enough to really, so you guys could really see it. Oh, there we go. Ooh, oh, look at that. It is so hot. So we see that the heat is causing a chemical reaction to happen where we can see a completely different pigment than what we saw when it was room temperature or cold. So let's see if we could make the entire slime turn pink. I am making the biggest mess ever. And I also brought a bowl of ice just to see the extreme color change when we drop it in ice. So it looks so pretty. Ah, okay. So we're gonna drop that into the ice, and let's see if it turns colors. Ooh. Now it's turning dark purple again. Ooh. This is really good slime, guys. So I will be turning it over to Kayla. Thanks, guys.
Everyone, we hope you enjoyed making heat slime and learning the science behind it. There are a few learning goals that we want you to take away from this design challenge. The first one is to correctly follow instructions. Second, make proper measurements. Also, understand how the structure of slime changes with heat, such as touch or putting a cold water bottle on it. And also, have a better understanding of how we see color. Thank you guys for joining us today as we made this amazing heat slime. We hope you guys had fun learning about polymers, measurements, pigments, which is what gives our substances color, wavelength, and thermochromism, which is the property where a substance changes color due to heat. You guys can take your slime home in your Ziploc bag or whatever container, and we encourage you guys to show your friends and your family not only your slime, but also explain to them why it is changing color. Make sure to keep it out of your pockets and your hair and your mouth. But enjoy your slime, and we'll see you next time.